Hey, Phil Mutry here, and welcome back, friends. In today's video, I want to show you why it is so important to brand yourself and how you can brand yourself to become an icon or a celebrity online. What most people do in the online business is they use names like what we call pen names, and it really isn't your real name. And it is my belief that if you are starting an online business and you plan on using a pen name, using a different name other than your own, you're really defeating the purpose of actually having an online business. It's my belief that if you create a product or you have a blog or you have a website, you brand yourself. You brand your first and last name. And what I teach all of my mentoring students coming in, any of my mentoring programs, is that first and foremost, you should have a domain that is your first and last name.com. In this case, what you see here, this is my blog. This blog's been going now for, I would say, about 7 years. And as you can see here, the domain name is philmutry.com. And what I'm going to do is to further prove to you that you should be branding your full name is I always go by Phil Mutry. So I bought philmutry.com, but what I do notice is that a lot of people are now searching for Philip Mutry, which is my real full first name. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to purchase the domain name philipmutry.com, and then in tomorrow's video I'm going to show you how you can install WordPress and a WordPress theme, actually install WordPress in less than 60 seconds, and then go into the admin and then install the WordPress theme and have your blog up and running, your external blog, branding your own name in probably, well, definitely less than 5 minutes, but installing WordPress in less than 60 seconds. So watch out for that video tomorrow because I'm going to show you how to do that. And to further, just before I go and I purchase this domain name, as you see, you're going to see philmutry.com, and at every blog post, what you'll notice is you'll see by Philip Mutry. When we go down to the next blog post, by Philip Mutry. Let's go down to the next one, by Philip Mutry. Down to the next one, by Philip Mutry. I do this and I teach my students that in every post, before you start writing your content, always put by your first name and your last name. And what this does is when Google indexes your blog posts, it's not only indexing your first and last name.com, it's also indexing your first and last name in your blog post. So always remember that when you are putting your blog post up, always put by your first name and your last name before you enter in your content. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go and we're going to go into HostGator, where this specific hosting is, and we're going to register a new domain. Where you want to go is domain management, and in here, once you're in domain management, it's going to say enter a domain we want to purchase. So in this case, we're going to go philipmutry.com. Don't need to put the .com, but we'll go philipmutry and we'll go search. And we'll see that philipmutry.com is available. So let's go ahead for $12.95 for 1 year. So let's go ahead and add to cart. Okay, so now we're going to go to my cart. We're going to check out. And I want to go no thanks. I don't want to get extra domains. And here I'm going to leave the check mark beside domain privacy protection for $9.95 a year. It's a good idea to have the domain privacy protection, because what this does is it hides all of your personal information. I don't want people emailing me at my personal email address. I don't want my personal phone number showing online. I don't want my address showing online. It just opens up a whole new bad can full of worms. So always put domain privacy protection on there, because then what shows is your internet server, well, not your internet service provider, but your hosting address and all that kind of stuff. They have to go through them to get to you, which won't happen because you have the domain privacy protection. So let's go ahead and we're going to complete the order. Okay, and we're just going to put, in this case with HostGator, you always have to put in your billing username and password. We'll go ahead and log in. And it's thinking about completing the order. And there we go. It says your order is being processed. Please check below to see update status on your domains. philipmutry.com. Success. So now we go into here. Let's take a look. And we've got auto renew is on. Domain locking is on. Good. Name servers. Now for name servers, if we can always go in here and select the hosting account, and we're just going to go save name servers on the hosting account. Domain privacy. Now here is where you're going to see the contact information. The contact information for HostGator. Now if I didn't have the domain privacy on here, this would have my own personal address, my own personal email address, and my personal phone number. You definitely don't want to have that, so always get domain privacy. And if we go furthermore, actually that's it. So your contact info is all in here, which is domain privacy. It all goes to your HostGator account. The name servers, always select in HostGator, always go in and select your hosting. And domain locking is on, which is default. Auto renew, make sure your auto renew is on so that it just automatically renews every year. So that is basically how you're going to brand yourself. If you have a blog somewhere else that isn't in your name, definitely buy a domain name that is in your name. And it's always best to set up a blog, a WordPress blog on that, so you can start branding yourself and building that foundation to give a good rapport on your name. And as well as buy your first and last name. That way you're going to index your first and last name twice for every post that you do. You're not only branding your domain, you're demanding you're branding your name within the blog post that you do. To take this one step further, if you cannot get your first and last name.com, you can always do from the desk of first and last name.com. I do teach that to my students because sometimes, you know, David is a common name, Sam is a common name. So those common names normally are taken with the last name. So you can always add from the desk of first and last name.com and then install your blog on that. You're still going to be indexing your first and last name on the .com when you do a post. And then by your first name and last name, you're also going to index that. So happy blogging. Look out for tomorrow's video when I show you how you can install a blog, an external blog, WordPress, in less than 60 seconds and have your blog up and running in less than 5. So we'll talk soon. If you see a link down below or an address where you can, an address field where you can put your email address in, and you can get updates from me all the time. And if there's a link, just click the link and you can learn how I can be mentoring you absolutely free. And I look forward to seeing your success online, and I look forward to working together as a team in the near future. Talk soon.